Michael Mizrahi, ladies and gentlemen, is a pianist. But not just a pianist, he's very, very, very good. No pressure. But, Michael, could you tell us a bit more about what you're going to play?
Sure. Well, I'll give you a brief synopsis. I grew up playing piano, playing all of the classical, canonical composers. Mozart was one of my favorites, Beethoven, Chopin. And when I started playing in Now Ensemble, which you'll hear tomorrow night, I'm the pianist in that group, I got the chance to work with living composers, and that was such a thrill. It was like you can't talk to Mozart or Chopin, but you can talk to a composer who's giving you their piece hot off the press, and you're the first one to play it, and that's a very exciting feeling. So I went looking for solo piano pieces by some of these composers, and to my surprise, they hadn't really written very many pieces for solo piano, which is surprising, because when you think about the history of the piano, composers wrote for the piano, you know, Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin wrote extensively for the piano, but in having conversations with people like Judd Greenstein and other composers, they said that the piano was in some ways like this canonical instrument, this traditional instrument that they grew up loving, and it was almost like they loved it so much that they didn't write for it, as I'm almost bludgeoned off the stage here. So I gave them that opportunity in a sense, which was kind of a win-win situation. I asked a lot of these composers whose music for Now Ensemble I loved to write pieces for me, and you'll hear a couple of those pieces tonight. And I formed them all into an album that I released a couple years ago. And the added piece to it, for me as a pianist with a background in the older tradition of piano playing, I've enjoyed programming these new works alongside some older works, and not just kind of haphazardly, but bringing them into direct dialogue with works that are either their inspiration or composers whose approach to the piano I find to be strikingly similar to the approach taken in the new works.
Wow. Is it worth asking you what pieces you're going to play by who, or should we just sit and enjoy?
Well, I'll say a few words between the pieces. I'm going to play some works by two composers who are here, Mark Danzigers and Judd Greenstein, Judd, who you just heard earlier, and another piece by Ryan Brown, who's not here, and then intermingled will be a few pieces by Beethoven and Chopin that I'll announce as I get to them.
So we'll leave the microphone with you. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have a very warm applause, Michael Mizrahi?